So it's happening. This is part 2. Again, you should know how to code, basically. This is gonna be way longer. You could probably tell from the video length. Yeah, this is just gonna go over everything that, pretty much everything that you need to make a VR game. Any type of VR game on Roblox that already exists. Maybe stuff that doesn't exist also. So, yeah, let's just get started with the most important part, server replication. If you don't know what that means, server replication is where, like, right now, our code only works for us. So to us, our hands are moving and stuff, but to everyone else in the game, there's nothing. You're just there. You just look like this. You're this to everyone else in the game. So here's what you do. I'm also, for this part, I'm also gonna do some, like, make it look like you, like your character, just basically. So first I think I'm gonna add a decal that's on the front. That'll be the face decal. Just call that face. 1 second, guys. Okay, so anyways, there's the face. This is gonna be the face. You can call it face or whatever you want. Then we're gonna add, actually, hold on, you know what, I'm gonna press, that's fine. I'm gonna press play, and then, I want this to be an R6. Nobody likes R15. If you like R15, there's something wrong with you. R6 is just the way to go. R15 looks bad. I mean, sure, it's slightly more realistic, but, like, the proportions are so weird. To anyone animating, trying to make something look realistic with R15, they know. So you'd have to make a lot of changes to R15 to make its purpose worth. So anyways, I'm gonna copy me and put myself in workspace. So then I'm going to, let's see. Hair attachment, let's see. Hair attachment is right there. I'm going to, hold on, I'm gonna go here. Thought it's drawn top, but okay, there we go. So here's hair attachment. Accessory weld is, if you look here in the head, you can see the hair attachment is in the same place as the hair attachment here. So here's what we do. I'm just gonna copy all this. You don't need the welds. Gonna put that, I could turn this off too. Gonna put that here. Oh yeah, sorry about any background noise that's in the video. So now that that's here, there's all the attachments, there's the mesh, and there's the face. So that's good. This is gonna look exactly like our character. So then I'm also gonna scale these down because in the last part I found that they were way too big. I think 0.25 should be fine for now. They may look, actually no, that's way too small. Maybe like 0.5. We'll see when we test it in VR. I didn't boot up Roblox Studio in VR. That's kind of how development works. I forgot to say, or for me at least, but I forgot to say that this video is again unscripted. I have no plan. I just here, let me show you. This is everything that I plan to do in the video. There's server-sided, which we're doing right now. Next is movement. Then there's colliding hands, non-colliding hands, grabbing, and then 2 different methods. Making it look like the player, which we're also doing right now. Yeah, there we go. They're kind of in the same thing. Then there's full body and just hands. And then there's what coding really looks like, or what it really is like, and that's what this is like. This is coding. So I'm going to publish to Roblox so that it saves. I don't think that's a good way to do it because it updates to everyone even if it's unfinished, but yeah, publish to Roblox. Go here. Open a new tab. This is just gonna be for dev form stuff. Oh, I don't need to open Roblox Studio again. I'll be back when I'm in VR. Okay, my headset is now connected, so I'm gonna boot up Roblox Studio. I don't really care if you see any of this. Don't judge or anything. Most of these games are old. So anyways, now that we're in VR, we can proceed to not do anything in VR. So this is our new starter character. I can also delete this. Hold on, wait, I'm gonna test something. So we're gonna take like one of these, put it in here. Uh-oh, it's broken. No, what happened? Oh my gosh. How devastating.
How devastating.
So then delete hair attachment. Actually no. Don't delete anything. This is just set up for the code. Now let's see. How about we do it so that it's a weld constraint. Then we set part 0 to hair attachment. And hello. I don't think. Oh wait, this is a part. My fault. Rigid constraint. That's what we're looking for. So part 0 is hair attachment. Head is okay. So now we have it looking good. Perfect. Now we are on the client side. We're gonna make these all transparent, just so that you can see through. If you're not able to see through, then like for me, I'd just be seeing this. Yeah, this. So anyways, we can delete this and we can delete this. So now we're gonna move this back to starter player so that it's still a starter character. And we're gonna go in VR local, and then we're also gonna make a new script in server script service called VR server. And we're also gonna add a folder to replicated storage, call it events or whatever you want. Names kind of matter. It's great for organizing, but like names, they can be whatever. Some people like no caps, some people like all caps, some people like this for some reason. events, but I like this. It looks nicer. So then there's remote event. Yet again, call it whatever you want, but I'm gonna call it VR update. Just because we don't really want to have too many remote events, I don't think. I think in my previous VR engine there was like 20 or something. Okay, so in VR server, we're gonna go local. Actually, here's an idea. Copy all of these. And then let's see. You don't need this one. I don't think you need these two, but we'll keep that like that for now. Yeah, we also don't need any of these. So yeah, just copy these. Also gonna add in the notes, variables. Gonna call this setup. Yeah, set up. So now we're gonna go local rs. You can do that in variables or wherever. It's just better in variables. So we're gonna do rs.events. Wait for child. Just make sure that it exists. VR update or whatever you named the remote event. Oh, my fault. Local update equals. So now we're gonna do update dot on server event connect function. We'll put in, no, we can't use that name. We're gonna put in oh, you can't. Man. Oh, let me think of a name. Hold on. We'll call it thing. Okay, so connect. No, my fault. You gotta do player. The first value is always the player that sent the remote event, and then you can do like thing and value 1, value 2, value 3. That should be enough. I don't want to get too specific so that we can use this for everything. So now in here, hold on, I'm gonna do something. So here's what I think would be cool. There's two methods of having the player. There's the server-sided. Wait, no. There's there's the player and like VR and PC support. So if you want VR players and PC players to play together, then you'll use the first method that I'm about to describe. But if you don't, just keep using this as starter character. So here's the method. I'm gonna change this to a different name because it doesn't need to be named anything specific. So I'm gonna call it player parts. I want just to keep it in workspace so that I can change it without like having to forget. I'm gonna add a script going game.workspace.playerparts.parent equals replicated storage, or game.replicated storage. So now if you press play, you should see that player parts isn't in here and it's instead in here. that just makes it so you can make changes to the player parts and not have to worry about moving it back into replicated storage every time. And we'll also do script destroy just to not clutter everything up. So now what you're gonna want to do, since player parts is there, you're gonna do in VR local, you can delete this, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. But what you're gonna do is rs.events.VR update fire server, and then thing, that's just gonna be the type of thing that we're updating. So we'll call it joined. Since you joined, then I'll just do nil, nil, nil for the 3 values, since those don't matter. So they're nil, aka they don't exist. So if thing equals, make sure there's 2 equal signs, equals joined, whoops, then oh yeah, local player parts, player parts equals rs dot, or wait for child, player parts clone. So then here's what you do. You look up how to see when character is fully loaded. You see, this is what coding is like for me. If I don't know how to do something, just look it up, add Roblox at the end, comes up with a dev form post, or sometimes scriptinghelpers.org. I click on it, I read, I see, I don't read this part because, yeah. Okay, so character added weight. Character appearance loaded. Okay, that's what we'll need. So let's see. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do player.character appearance loaded connect function. Actually no, we don't need to do that. We do wait. So if you do wait, it just waits for when the character appearance is loaded. So then, now that the character is completely loaded, we do all the stuff, which is player parts dot head, right? Hold on. Yeah, head dot color equals player.character, wait for child, body. I'm gonna press play. This is gonna get an error, but it's fine. I'm gonna press play so that I can see everything that's in the character when they load in. Okay, so everything's loaded in. Gonna copy this player. Let's see, body colors. So there's a space. Body colors. And then player parts dot right. Oh wait, hold on. Body colors dot head color. Yes. Head color 3. And then right hand dot color okay, right hand dot color equals, just copy this. Instead of head color, it's right arm color 3. Then copy this. Left hand dot color equals left arm dot color 3. So now if you press play, we should be able to see that it oh, okay, my bad. We didn't do all of it yet. So now player parts, let's do for IV in pairs. Player dot character. That's an accessory. Get children. Do if V is a accessory, then what that does, it just makes it only run if this is it. So these all have handle, right? Yeah, these all have handle. So V dot handle, actually no, local rigid constraint. Actually, yeah, first we're gonna clone. We're gonna clone it, and then we're gonna do clone or instant local weld, we'll just call it weld, equals instance dot new rigid constraint. So then weld dot weld dot attachment 0 equals clone dot handle hold on, for we'll just do another one, underscore x, that's another kind that I did. For underscore x in pairs, clone dot handle get children do. This is like a really bad way of doing the code, I must say, but I can't really think of anything else right now. So if x is a attachment, right? Yeah, attachment. Attachment, then weld dot attachment 0 equals x, and then weld dot attachment 1 equals player parts dot head. We have all that stuff. Yeah, we do. Player parts head. Find first child with the name of x dot name. That should be good. But then also we need to, I'm just gonna close that. Oops. I don't know. I don't know if closing that does anything or not, but then we're gonna do player parts dot head. I'll add a note here too, saying appearance. I think that's how you spell it. Don't mind if it's not the correct spelling. So player parts dot head dot face dot texture equals player dot character dot head dot face dot texture. That should be it, I think. Yeah, that should be it. And then yeah, that's everything. Then player parts dot parent equals game dot workspace, and player parts dot name equals, actually we'll put name first. So player parts dot name equals player dot name dot dot apostrophe s parts. That's just not to confuse the, or I'll just do, actually yeah, that's fine. That's just not to confuse the game when we, like, if we did just player.name, then there'd be two things. Say your name is Epic Game Week 59, my name. Then there'd be two Epic Game Week 59 in the game. So you can now delete your character or whatever. So now, if you look in workspace, nothing happened. Hold on. What should I do? Oh, yes, that's what I did. That's what I did. So, wait. I didn't. Hold on. Debugging. This is debugging. So I do print update. Let's see if this updates or not. It doesn't update. Okay, let's see if this is an error up here. If it prints update, that means the script is running. Okay, it printed update. So, what about right before here? Yep, still prints update. So now, print update. Let's see.
Let's go.
Okay, still prints update. I think that means it's just not running this function. So let's print. Oh, I see an issue. It's not saying that I have joined in VR. Maybe this code isn't running. Ooh. Oh wait, I know the issue. Okay, so first we're gonna add rs.events.vr update.on client event : wait. That just makes sure that nothing happened until yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna look something up. Wait, Roblox. I gotta find out. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So we're gonna do local player parts equals that. Then we're also gonna remove this part. Copy this under here. Instead of char, we'll do player parts for every single one. So now that should be working. Debugging process. Woo! Yes, it is now working. So it's not working. Oops. I'm gonna move this here to see if it fires the server or not. It should. I think it does, I don't know. I don't know, I'm kind of confused, because that's what I am. I'm kind of confused here. Nope, it is definitely making the code run. Is it not going here? No, I think I know the issue. Here's what we do. We move this. We put this right here. Now that should be working. Probably. Hopefully. Yeah, yes, it worked. Okay, I'm gonna copy this because I can't really look at it while I'm in VR. So here we go. The attachments or the hats didn't work, but that's a good thing, because, or that's not a good thing, but look, the skin color is working. So let's see here. Oh, I see. Clone.parent equals player parts. Now it should be working flawlessly with no issues at all. Sorry about my brother. He's being really annoying by talking when I specifically told him not to. Okay, that's an issue. Why is that an issue? Why is that happening? Nobody knows. Where are the welds? I don't see any region constraints. I think that's the issue. Hold on, let's see. How to, oh, whoops, I have caps lock on. How to set weld position to attachments. Roblox. Oh. Okay, hold on. I have no idea what this means. Oh. I see. Okay, so we're not gonna use a region constraint, we're just gonna use a weld, and then weld dot yeah, weld dot C-frame equals this. Let's see if that works. Oh, and also weld dot parent equals clone. I keep on forgetting to parent things. That's kind of something dumb with instance.new. Oh, okay. Not a member of Weld. How nice. Here we go. C0. Huh. C. Hold on, I'm gonna undo that. Those two things. I'm gonna do weld.parent equals clone still. But what if we change this to weld.c0 and a weld.c1? Let's see how that works. I hope it works. Oh, nope. I forgot to add in dot C-frame. Yeah, we'll add C-frame. Okay, yep, no errors. No errors. That didn't look like it worked. Just to double check though. Yep, it didn't work. But are the welds there? Yeah? I forgot to set the part. I forgot to set the parts. Okay. Weld.part 0 equals clone.handle weld.part part 1 equals head, or player parts dot head. Okay, this is what coding is like for me. This is more like a just raw footage of me coding really than a tutorial. Oh, hey, something's different. Something's working. Let's go. Hold on. Gotta test something. Yep, that's good, that's good. Perfect. Okay. Everything is now working as intended after only 40 minutes. Okay. Coding. Time flies when you're coding. Am I right? Or am I wrong?
Wrong.
Okay, whatever. So, now that that's done, we can, yeah, this is the appearance. So now that the appearance is set up and there's player parts, we'll do, update, fire client, player, player parts. So now that we get this, we'll change this to local server player parts, and then we do local player parts equals server player parts clone and server player parts destroy. What this does is, after everything's set up, now on the server there's only the server parts, since when we make when you clone the player parts here, it doesn't tell everyone on the server that it was cloned. And then we destroy server player parts so that we don't see ourselves lagged back. So I find this to be currently the best method I've used. I've only used 2 methods. The other method had really bad delay for the VR user, which sucked. But now this should be fine, I guess. Might cause some issues that we'll have to fix later on, but here we go. So now in user C-frame changed, we'll send the C-frames to the server. So we'll do, actually, yeah, we don't really need a variable for update. Actually, yes we do. rs local update equals rs dot events wait for child VR update. Then we'll change this to the variable, and also this. So now we do update fire server. The type is going to be player C-frame. We're gonna do the values, so we're gonna start off with right hand mathified, left hand mathified, and head mathified. Also, I forgot to say, if you haven't watched part 1, I suggest you do that. That would make sense. Okay, so anyways, now we do else if thing equals, what do we name it? Player C-frame. Okay. Player C-frame. Then hold on. We gotta make sure every single different if function has player parts. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do local player parts and just not do an equal sign, and then delete this local. So now that should update and everyone knows what player parts is. Hold on, I'm getting a bunch of text right now. Okay. So if thing equals player C frame. Actually, we'll also add some variables for left hand and right hand. So and head. So local right hand, local left hand, local head.
Oh my god, you're spamming all the text.
So we do right hand equals player parts, wait for child, right hand. Left hand equals player parts, wait for child, left hand. Okay, head equals player parts, wait for child. I bet you can't guess what I'm about to type next. Head. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna add a note here for updating hands. So now, we do, we don't actually, yeah, we do. Just delete player parts from all these. I'm making you guys go back a lot, but like, it's funny. Not really. It's annoying. But that's kind of how I roll. Okay, so right hand dot cframe equals value 1. Left hand dot cframe equals value 2. And head dot cframe equals value 3. So now I'm gonna go in VR quickly and see if everything works properly. And to do that, I'm gonna do a test. Actually, no, I don't really need to do a test. I'm just gonna press play, get in my headset, and then go on the server and see if it all updates. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I didn't unpause because there were 2 errors. Number 1, VR local didn't have anything. I think that's because we should do one thing. Hopefully that fixes it. Number 2, I'm going to show you. I am going to... Okay, well that error is fixed, but look. The character is stuck here because there are still welds in the accessories named accessory weld. So, to fix that, we will go here. We'll just add an else if X is a weld, then X destroy. So that should fix it. Let's see if it fixes it. We can go on client for this, or server for this. And it fixed it! Woo! Let's go! The attachments are all working properly. So I'll go in VR. I'm not gonna pause this time. I'm going in VR right now. Putting on my headset right now. I'm still putting it on. Okay, I have it on. I'm going to press the play button now. Okay, now I'm going in VR. Okay, now I'm in VR. As you can see, my accessories are here. I think these are a very good size for the hands, I must say. Oh yeah, I forgot I added a bit of code so that I could make the thumbnail for the last video. Hold on, let me just delete that. Okay, so there was an issue, but that wasn't anything like that you would have had. It was still a thing with the timer. So I'm gonna test this again. Hold on, I gotta write a note for this timestamp. Okay. So I'm gonna go back in VR. I'm going in VR again. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Okay. I'm in VR now. I'm gonna press play. Yeah. Okay, so now everything should work. Yep, everything's working perfectly, but there's still this. There's blocking. I mean, it's not that bad, really. Oh yeah, there's also me moving. But, yeah, this isn't that bad, but it can get way worse. Especially if you have different accessories on. Okay, so, okay. I'm gonna press pause. Sorry about any more background noise than there was before. It's been like 30 minutes or something. Okay, so here's what we do. To fix this. We do, we do this. We go for IV in pairs. Player parts, get children. Do. If V is a accessory, I think that's how you spell it. Maybe there's, hold on. Okay, that's how you spell it. V, destroy. Okay, and then also, player head. Oh wait, no, that would go here. Head dot transparency equals 1, so that in case it gets like delayed or anything, it's good. So now we get to see if the server replication is working perfectly. So I'm gonna go in VR for the last time on this part, and we'll see if everything works properly. Okay, play. Okay, as you can see, there's no blocking accessories. Everything's working good. So now we check the server. Just gonna press F. Oh my gosh, look. I'm gonna go like this. Look, it's updating. This is insane, guys. Who could have expected this? Okay.
Yo, what the hell?
So now this is updating. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do ball movement. So I'm gonna open my old VR game because I'm not like a specialist on ball movement. I got some help from some other people on how to make balls. Okay, so gonna go into game. This is meet Arthur Ford. This is him. Arthur Ford Boneworks. His bones are working. So true. Okay, so okay, I have a starter character here. Okay, so look. Here we have a root part. I'm gonna move this back. Okay, so what you're gonna do now is you're gonna look here, and then you're gonna do this up, duplicate the head, whatever, I don't care. Delete all this, call this the root part or anchor part or whatever. Again, names don't have to be specific. Make sure can't collide is on and anchored equals false. Yeah, false. And make the shape a ball. Okay, let me just make sure everything's to scale. Oh, I see. Hold on, what? Hold on, wait, what? Hold on, what? Oh. Okay, so now that you have the root part, it doesn't have to be a ball, it should be a block. And then also make one called locomotion sphere or loco ball or crazy sphere or whatever you want to call it. And then make sure it's a ball shape. The root part is going to be, you know what, I'll just move this to the other monitor. Okay, so the root part is going to be can collide off and anchored off. And then the locomotion sphere is going to be can collide on, anchored off. And we're going to add a attachment and call the attachment ball socket or whatever, and duplicate that attachment, put it in the root part, and then in the locomotion sphere add a ball socket constraint. And that ball socket constraint, the attachment 0 is going to be this one, so you can add like a 0 at the end or something. And attachment 1 is this one, so you can add a 1 at the end, just to remember. Then add a body. Oh, you can't do that. Angular velocity. Yeah, you can just have an angular velocity. And then in root part, add a force. You know what? We'll do this. Oh, whoops, I wasn't supposed to do that. In VR server, or VR local, it doesn't matter. Up here, just do local, actually no, instance dot new body. We'll add a force. Here's what we're gonna look up: how to set a parent of, actually no, I already know how to do that. You do body force dot parent equals game dot workspace. So then copy this, change that to body gyro, and then copy that, change it to body angular velocity. So now when you press play, you'll have these. So copy those, delete this code. Also, you can delete this print. So paste those into workspace and move the body angular velocity into locomotion sphere, and move these two into root part. So body angular velocity settings, the max torque is going to be 1155, 1155, 1155, and the P is going to be 1250, and the angular velocity is going to be 0, 0, 0. And for the body force, the force will be 0, 425, 0, and the body gyro is going to stay exactly the same. So now what we have to do is look at the code that this person wrote for me. Let's see. Where's the code? Ah, there's the code. Okay. So we'll add a new note, call it ball movement. Ooh. Actually, no, that's fine. That's fine. So here we're gonna use user input service. So UIS dot input began connect function input. That'll be what input is beginning, kind of obviously. Well, no, what? Never mind. I think. Change this to input ended. Then do if input dot keycode equals nm dot keycode dot thumbstick 1. That'll be your left thumbstick. Then add a variable up here. Local root part equals player parts wait for child. Hold on. Wait for child root part. Copy this. Call it locosphere or something. And then locomotion sphere. Whoops. Sphere. Okay. So now go back here. Do locomotion, locosphere. Find first child, body angular velocity dot angular velocity equals vector 3 dot new 0 0 0. So now you're gonna do user input service dot input changed connect function. Again, do input in here. It'll automatically add an end. So then do if input dot keycode equals nm dot keycode dot hold on, I'm gonna make sure that my audio isn't cutting out like last time. Okay, so nm.keycode dot thumbstick1, then if user input service dot or colon is gamepad button down nm dot user user input type dot gamepad1 nm dot keycode dot button L3, then type in here locosphere find first child angular or body angular velocity equals parenthesis negative cam get render c-frame dot right vec. Oh, I forgot to put the stuff in the description. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I fixed the YouTube thing, but also this is the guy that made the code. Yeah, I don't think he's on Discord anymore or on here, but he made the code nonetheless. So gotta give credit where credit is due. So anyways, back to where we were. Right vector times input dot, just gotta scroll here. Input dot position dot y, move out of those parentheses plus into another pair of parentheses. Hold on. Okay. Plus another pair of parentheses. Cam get render c-frame dot look vector times input dot position dot x out of, oh, whoops, I did a capital I, out of two parentheses times walk speed dot, or yeah, times walk speed times sprint m. We haven't made those two variables yet. So these two variables, go up here, Let's see what walk speed dot value is here. Let's see. Alright, walk speed. So local walk speed equals vector3 dot new. Let's do 100, 0, and 100. You can configure this however much you like to fit your game. So then we do local sprint m, the multiplier for sprinting, equals 0.4, and local walk m equals 0.2. Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, I forgot to add here dot angular velocity. Okay, so perfect. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna copy all this. If I remember to, I'll put this in the description. So then you'll just do else, paste it, and instead of sprint m, it'll be walk m. So pressing down the thumbstick button will make you sprint. I think this is a similar system. I know Edgeworks uses this system. My game uses this system. I think Clashers uses this system. But what this system achieves is it's like kind of normal walking. If you run into stuff, you'll stop. Yeah. So now I am going to test this in VR to make sure everything's working. So let's see if it's working. I'm getting in VR right now. Craziest stuff I've ever seen in my life. This is insane. I can't believe he's getting into VR. Okay, play. I don't think it loaded. Hold on. Oh, that's the issue. Okay, hold on. I need to stop this, and I need to close out of all the other Roblox studios. Okay. So now I'll press play. So that's an issue, obviously. It doesn't work, but I think I know why. It's because we didn't do any setup. Sadly, I am going to have to open the Roblox thing again, which might take a bit, but you guys get to watch. I feel like this tutorial kind of sucks, but yeah. Oops, that's not what I wanted. How do I only open the place? I don't want to. You know what? Whatever. I'll just open both. Oh, whoops. Okay. So now that we're here, I don't want you guys to see all of this code. No, it's not responding. That's great. Okay. Let me read through all this code. Whoops, I have caps on. This might take a bit, so just, yeah. Hang tight, I guess. Huh. What's the importance of root part? I don't think we actually really need root part. Yeah, no, I don't think we need root part. I'll keep it here, but I don't think we really need it that much. So actually, yeah, I'll delete it. Alright, so in here, firstly, go back to camera, and camera C-frame is going to be locosphere.cframe times, actually no, position, yeah, position. Because we don't want the rotation to be in effect also. I just wanna, I don't need to test in VR. Oh yes, issue, of course. Always an issue. Infinite yield possible on root part. Because we deleted it. Okay. Whoops, I accidentally opened Steam. Ah. Oh, I know. Dot C-frame. Dot position. Okay. Now it should be good. Nope. How did it work before? Oh, it was a C-frame.new. Okay. Locosphere.position. Okay. Now it should work. I think it worked. Hold on. Yeah, looked like it worked. Oh, I need to add another value here, value 4. So then, here, I'll add, locosphere.cframe. Yeah. So now on the server, I don't have a local sphere. Okay. Local sphere, and then local sphere equals player parts, weight per child, local motion sphere. Okay. So now local sphere dot cframe equals value 4. Okay, now I'm gonna go in VR again. Hopefully this all works. I'm getting in VR right now. No way. I think that. Oh. Of course. Okay, hold on. We need to delete another reference to record. I'm gonna do this on the computer. Hold on. Okay. Now it should work, finally. Oh yeah, I forgot, but doesn't work exactly. But look, this doesn't work exactly how we wanted it to. But look, there's the ball. Here it is. Now I gotta close out of everything else again. Now it should work. Yes, it works. There's movement. There's me moving, but also the VR me is moving. So, yeah, that's a good thing. I'm going to, you hold down the thumbstick to run. As you can see, I'm approaching me. Come here me. Come here. I've surpassed me. I'm being stepped on by me.
Oh.
Wait. Okay, this is too fun for how bare bones this is. But look, you ready? Look. You ready? You ready? Oh my gosh, it all updates. This is the most insane thing anyone has ever seen. Oh my gosh. Okay. So there was a slight issue, and that issue was that there was no offset. So the offset, we're gonna set it. Here's what we do. We do locals. I hate doing this, but local sphere dot position. I forgot how to spell position. Dot x, local sphere dot position dot y plus offset. We haven't created an offset variable yet. Local sphere dot position dot z. So now let's create the offset variable. Local offset equals, I think 6 has worked for me in the past. But you're probably gonna want to have something that sets the offset like Xworks has. I don't know how to do that, so I'm not gonna do that in this tutorial. Yeah, so now that this is done, I'm gonna copy this, all this, and then I'm gonna paste it, group it, and call it ball, because now we're going to a different kind of movement. So delete all this. Your character, okay, so I don't know when I'm cutting this out, but like this segment has been very hard. It took me like an hour or 30 minutes or something to finish this, get this working. I don't know, I didn't really, it was so simple too. The solution was so simple. I'm just like not that good of a problem solver, I guess. Think this guy, think Game Night. I copied his code. Thank him, Game Night 999 2005. Okay, so here I'm just gonna go over everything that I remember I changed. So make sure there's still the local sphere dot position here, and then here you do this. Yeah, you do this. I'm gonna. What this does is it adds to an offset that the camera follows. So I'll just, yeah, you can pause the video, copy this, and let's see what else is there. Oh yeah, I can delete this. I think that's it. Okay, so now let's see what else we have to do. Now we need to do colliding hands and non-colliding hands. So what this means is, it's actually really simple. I don't think there's any coding needed for this. And I'm gonna, yeah, this is invisible, good. I don't know what this is. Okay, so it's now a week later. Yeah, it's a week later because I got busy. But yeah, I got busy on the weekend, last weekend, and I couldn't record other than on the weekend. So yeah. If my studio currently looks different from yours, that's because it should, since I've been doing some testing and stuff, but that doesn't matter to you. Also, I updated my plans. Let me just show you that. So we have, I already did these 2 things. We're gonna make a small change to ball movement, and I'll show you that soon. Next we're gonna do colliding hands and non-colliding hands, which it's fairly, everything after this is gonna be very, very simple. Then we have grabbing, weld, and parent. And I was planning to do a full body system with like inverse kinematics, kind of what you would see in Blade and Sorcery or Boneworks, but that's too complicated for me. So yeah, I decided not to do it. I can just move this underground. That's testing and stuff. Okay, so I'm just changing this name. I also changed the VR hands into another model, like the ball one. But it should all be the same. Depending on what you used for your VR engine, you'll either have ball as player parts or VR hands as player parts. But I'm gonna be going off of ball for player parts because I just like how this one feels to control more than the other one. So I'm gonna change this to player parts. Oh, and I also changed the name of the script to player parts setter just to be a bit more organized. And I added these two things for like physics, interaction, testing and stuff. Okay, so anyways, go into your ball VR engine. Oh. Yeah, I forgot that's how I said it. I gotta re-enable these, move this back. Hold on, I forgot to organize properly. Alright, so this is going into testing along with these two things. Okay, I'm not touching that again. So VR server and starter character scripts. Okay, so we have our player parts. So go into your locomotion sphere and make sure custom physical properties is enabled. And then change the density to 1. Change the elasticity weight to 100. That way it just doesn't bounce or anything when you fall from a height. Actually, let me make sure that, yep, okay, so make sure elasticity is also 0, friction is 2, and friction weight is 100. That way it doesn't slide. And it also allows you to go up slopes, like this ball. So now that that's all good, we're going to move on to hands. So I don't have a hand 3D model. You can use a 3D model or something that you make in Workspace or in Roblox, but I don't have one. If I find a good one, by searching up hands. Yeah, no. Instead, what I do have is, let's see if it's in here. Ah, yes, of course. So what I do have is these two meshes, which are the controller 3D models straight from the Oculus website. I also rotated them a bit just to make them match how they actually are in real life. And this makes it easier to calibrate hands. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, honestly, it's really simple to do colliding hands and non-colliding hands. So gonna go into our player parts, drag left hand here. I'm gonna rename it to controller mesh. Drag this here into right hand, name it controller mesh. There is absolutely no scripting required for this at all. So then what you're gonna do is you're going to copy this position and then put it here. you don't really need to do that with the orientation if they're the same, which they are for me. So then I'm gonna do the same here. Take the left hand, move that. Okay, perfect. And I'm also gonna make these two way more invisible, just so you can see the controllers better. But I don't want to get rid of the blocks entirely, because they're useful for, I don't know, they're just a bit useful. So now what you do is you add an attachment in left hand, and you're gonna do this for right hand too. You can call it whatever you want, obviously, of course, that's always how it is, but I'm gonna call it collision 1, I think. It's either collision 1 or collision 0, we'll see. I'm just gonna copy that in here, since they should have the same exact position. Just call that collision 0. And then you're gonna add a thing into left hand. Let me find it. I forgot the name, but I'll know it. Oh, yes. Align position. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna set attachment. Hold on. I think I got the names wrong. So collision 0, collision 1. So you're gonna set attachment 0 to collision 0 and attachment 1 to collision 1. And set the responsiveness to 200. And yeah, I don't really want to mess with any of this. You can, but I don't want to. Actually, let me see if I could do that. Yep, okay. Max force, more, it makes it have more force. So what this does, the align position is, it's a constraint made by Roblox. It makes it so collision 1 attachment and the part that the attachment is in is always aligned with collision 0 attachment. So if I moved the left hand, then the controller would also move. So now I'm just gonna copy all this in here and change the align position to have these collisions attachments. And now you have to add another thing called align orientation, and that just does the same exact thing for rotation. So I'm going to copy this infinite again and also set the responsiveness to 200 because that's the max, in case you didn't know. Set attachment 0 and yep, put that the same here. Boom, boom. So now if you want to change the orientation, how the controllers are, like how the hands are rotated and stuff, what you can do is you can move the attachment collision 1 or collision 0. I don't think it matters which one. I'll move collision 0 for this one, and I'll just move it back 2 steps because that's what I found is good for these controller meshes. Okay, that should be good. So I'm gonna go test that right now. I'm putting on my headset. This is always the worst part of VR development. It's having to go in VR and then test something and then get out of VR, fix something, go back in, test something again. Kinda sucks. Okay. So there's something weird going on. I think we have 2 player parts. This probably shouldn't be happening for you. I don't think that should be happening for you. It didn't happen last time, and I didn't make any changes. What did I do? No errors. Yeah, and this is the same. Are there just 2 player parts? Hold on, let me check in here. That's strange. Clone, maybe? Oh, I think I might know what happened. There might be no deletion in here. Nope. That's not what happened. Yep, definitely not what happened. But either way, the controllers did not work. So I think you might have to change this. And then, yep, just do this again. I don't think I really need to test it in VR to see if this is gonna work. I do. Hold on. I'm going back in VR. A trick that I learned is you can just put your hand or finger over the touch sensor and it thinks you're in VR. Okay, so as you can see, the hands are working. I'm gonna go into VR for real now. Okay, I'm in VR for real now. As you can see, the hands are working, and if I can get this to work right. Oh, that is unanchored. Okay. Yeah, this is an issue. Alright, I'm gonna pause the video here and fix whatever issue is causing the player parts to spawn twice. And then I will go back and do the rest of the tutorial. Okay, nobody watching this video should have that issue, but pretty much I forgot to disable the old VR scripts. So if it does happen to you and you're making 2 VR engines, yeah, you're making 2 different VR engines, then yeah, you should make sure that the scripts are disabled as well. But now, what we will do is we will do non-colliding hands. So this is going to be hands that don't collide with the environment. There are actually 2 ways of doing this. Number 1, just turn off can collide. It's really that simple. It'll lag behind a bit if you're I don't know. It'll just lag behind a bit if you're moving. But the other option, I still suggest you turn off Can Collide. Same here if it's on. The other option is deleting all this, which I won't do, but then using a weld script like Moon Animator has. I think it's a really good plugin. I can turn off animatable. I don't really need it animated. Then welding them. Okay, so it doesn't work if you have constraints in it already. But you should have deleted it. So then you weld it, or the other option is you just add a weld, make part 0 right hand, part 1 controller mesh. Do the same here, and they should be all together. And the third and final option is just setting the positions in VR local. But that might require a bit of extra coding because you can have rotation and stuff. It would make for a smoother result though. So do what you want. Next, we're gonna do grabbing, which there's one part that I'm not 100% sure how to do. I think it should work. Actually, let me pull that up right now. You guys, that's just the Roblox VR server. You should join it. It's a great server. There's Roblox developers in there. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I got the thing. So here's the thing. For grabbing, translated to the server. On grab, make a clone of what you're grabbing. Make the original thing can collide off and fully transparent. And then broadcast position and rotation to the server. Just like how it is for just the hands. On ungrab, just make the original visible again. Broadcast final position and velocity and orientation. I forgot to write that. So throwing works, and then delete the clone. What that should do is make it work on the server. Because VR, if there's latency, it's very, very noticeable. Like, one developer that I know has a game that they stopped working on. One of the issues that I had with the game was that there's an ammo pouch. If you try to grab ammo from the pouch, since all the code is running on the server, if you have bad internet, you can press the grab button, and then a couple seconds later, by the time you already released the grab button, thinking it didn't register, it spawns in a new piece of ammo. So it usually doesn't get that bad, but it's always good to have safety measures for laggy people. But this is also probably a very, very bad way of doing things, because I bet it uses a lot of resources from Roblox. So I'm going to keep the align position and orientation thing, because yeah. So there's 2 ways to grab, and there's 2 ways to detect grabbing, and I will do the 2 different ways for the 2 different ways. So first we're gonna start with grab region and grabbing weld. So I'm only gonna do this on the right hand, but it's the same process for the left hand. I just don't feel like doing everything all over again and going through and changing every right to left, because that happens. That's kind of how it works. So in your right hand, you should have a thing, or for me, I don't actually think I really need to add a grabbed region, but if your hand is like, if your source thing, if your box, this right hand, if it's too small and you want to change the positions or anything, then add a part. Do the same methods to make the hands move with the part. I feel like I'm being confusing right now, but I hope this is getting through. But anyways, now go here. I don't think I changed anything in the code, really. That would be that important to you guys. But yeah, add a new section. Call it grabbing. So for grabbing, first, what you're gonna want to do is add, let's see if I can, nope, okay. Add a script in here, and I'm just gonna call this on touch script. I spelled that wrong, but it's fine. So what this script is gonna do is it's gonna make it so that the hand, even though it can collide off, it can still detect if anything's touching it. So here's the code. Script dot parent dot touched connect function move one to the left or to the right, and that's the code. That's the entire thing. And what that does, makes it so that it adds in a thing in the right hand hierarchy called touch interest. And that just means if it gets touched, it can run code and it will detect it and it will have interest. Okay, so just copy that over to the left hand. I don't even really need to care at all. So now, in your local script, we're gonna do all the VR server stuff later. We're gonna do, I don't really want to do another input changed function. So in here, I'm gonna add a note saying ball movement. And then I'm gonna add another category. Grabbing. So the way the Oculus controllers work. Hold on. Oculus Quest 2 controllers. Okay. So as you can see, this is an Oculus Quest 2 controller. And as you can see, there is a grip button right here and also a trigger. And if you have these in real life, you would know that you can press the grip button doesn't have two positions like these buttons do. These buttons have up and down. This grip button has like this, press down, and everything in between that. So if I were to take my Oculus controller right now and press grip halfway, it would be a different thing in code than having it fully up or fully down. And we can utilize this knowledge to, instead of input change, we do if input dot keycode or instead of input began and input ended, we can do if input, or hold on. We can use input changed instead of input began and ended, because changed is just gives more control to developers, lets them change what at what point the button registers. So if input.keycode equals enum dot keycode dot, hold on, I gotta look up the key codes because I forgot what the key codes are for Roblox, Oculus key codes. Yep. This is a dev form post. Should be able to scroll down. Okay. So here's the thing. Button L1 would be the grip, I guess. Button L1. I can check that later by simply doing print input dot keycode, and I'll do the position just so that you guys can see that it really is different. So I'm gonna hop in VR right now, show you the difference. Okay, gonna press play. It's opening right now. Okay, so the key code is unknown right now. I don't know what it's doing right now, but look, I'm gonna press on the grip, button R1. And you can see I'm gonna slowly press it down. Okay, now it's all the way down, and I'm gonna release it. Now it's released. I'm gonna get out of VR now. So yeah, as you can see, oh, that's my mouse that it's detecting. Makes sense. Okay. So as you can see, as I press it down further, the number is higher, closer to 1, but it never actually gets to 1. And as I release it, it gets farther from 1. So let's just, I'm gonna change this to R1 because it's right, not left. Then I'm gonna say if input dot position, that looks like it's the Y or the Z value, equals or is greater than or equal to, yeah, let's go with 0.75. That's about 3/4 down. Then we're gonna run the code for pressing it down, and then I'm gonna add in else if input dot position dot z is less than or equal to 0.7, or just less than 0.75, because the two codes can run at actually they can't because it's an else statement. But yeah, if it's less than 0.75, then this is the off code. So button pressed, button released. And that's just a note. You don't have to write that down. That's just to have you guys know. So when the button gets pressed, we're gonna do a couple things. Firstly, we're gonna add a variable just out here, or you can add it up here. Doesn't matter as long as it's outside of this function. And it's, yeah, just outside of this function. So we're gonna call it local R1 pressed equals false. So now we're gonna do an AND statement, and R1 pressed is equal to false. That way it doesn't run the code every single time you press down the grip button. That would be a mess unless you wanted it to, such as like for an automatic gun. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna set R1 pressed to true, because this code only runs if it's pressed, and we don't want it to run again. And then we'll get everything that the right hand or your grab region is touching. If I didn't explain this well enough earlier, the grab region is just an invisible part with can collide off and is in the same position and rotation as the right hand. Probably you can change it if you want, but that's how I have it set up. And with that all, anything that touches the grab region when you press the grip button will be grabbed, but only one at a time. You can't grab 3 things at once. And I think you can do some code that detects the closest thing to your actual hand, not your grab region, but I don't feel like doing that at all. I think it's simpler to just not do it. Yeah. You can do that in the polishing stage of your game. Oh, but first, we also need to, I'm gonna add a thing. Just maybe something from the toolbox, something that you can grab. Let's go into meshes, see what there is. Don't want it to have any bad code in it. Let's make a grabbable. Let's do a grabbable diamond sword. That was my first grabbable object in any VR game, so be a nice callback. Gonna scale that down. I don't care if the scale is proportional or not. Just needs to be something that you can grab. Make sure that anchored is false. Can collide can be turned off, but that means it's gonna fall through the earth, so that we wouldn't want that. And then we're gonna add an attribute. If you don't know how attributes work, they're pretty much the same as values that you add in. So like ammo, yeah, stuff like that. So I'm gonna add an attribute, call it grabbable. You can call it whatever you want, as always. but I'm calling it grabbable for simplicity's sake. And I'm gonna check this to true. That means it's grabbable. So now I'm gonna do for IV in pairs, right hand, get touching parts, do get touching parts, just it's like get children, but instead of everything that's under the thing, it's everything that's touching it. So I'm gonna do if v get attribute, I think that's the line. Let me look up the documentation for this. This is how I do something usually if I don't know exactly how it is. Alright, get attribute returns the attribute, and okay, whatever. If v get attribute, we're gonna put in here grabbable is equal to true, then we're gonna run code. But I want to explain that if there's no attribute, then it'll return as nil. And that can still return as nil if you have a string that doesn't have anything in it, or here, let's see all the options. Or if you have an... Actually, I don't think the string returns as nil. I think it only returns as nil if there is no attribute inside of the thing. So we're gonna set grabbable to false, but we can still make sure that it has grabbable in it. And we're not, here, I'll explain it a bit more later on. Okay, so now we're gonna do I'm gonna add a variable. This doesn't have to be outside at all. Oh, this is also good for grabbing. If you want to be organized, add like a folder in one of the hands. Actually, that's the wrong hand. Folder, call it grabbed. And I'm also going to add a attribute. Yeah, let's add an attribute. I'm gonna add an attribute, which is a hold on. Do attributes have instances? I don't know if attributes have instances. I'm not like that familiar with attributes. So instead I'm gonna add a value, which is an object value. Call it old parent. That's gonna be useful. So grabbed dot old parent. Yeah. So local grabbed is equal to swirly brackets. That makes a table. If you don't know what a table is, I'm a bit worried. But okay, sorry. I took a bit of a break because of background noise. So yeah, if there's more background noise than there was before, I'm sorry about that. But that break also made me realize that I should address that the audio quality of 1 week ago, which is absolutely horrible, but it's kind of funny. So I hope that didn't ruin this tutorial completely. Yeah, so back to where we were. Grabbed is the table. If you don't know what a table is, I'm worried for you. You probably should be on this tutorial, and you should be learning some of the basics. So yeah, local grabbed equals empty table. Then if v is grabbable, then v or table dot insert grabbed and v. Okay, so now what we just do is take local grab tar, which I guess it would be short for grab target, is equal to grabbed 1. That's just the first thing in grabbed. Okay, so now we do the actual grabbing. There's a lot of there's 2 ways to do grabbing welds. Actually, no, yeah, there's just 2 ways. I'm gonna do the second way of grabbing on the next kind of grabbing, detection. But for now, we'll do with the classic, the one that I used in my previous VR engine, which is the weld constraint. It's really good to use a mix of both techniques. So like this technique is good for objects that aren't really important to the game, like I don't know, props like papers, keyboards, mugs, stuff that the player isn't going to be interacting with much at all, but just gives a sense of life to the world that they're in. So local grab weld equals instance.new weld constraint. The difference between a weld and a weld constraint for this is a weld constraint. When you do the weld, the parts stay in exactly the same position that they were, but the normal weld makes it so that part 1 is in the same position as part 0 all the time until the weld gets disabled or deleted. So what we're gonna do is right hand dot grab, or yeah, let's just do wait for child grabbed dot old parent dot value equals grab tar dot parent. That way, when we ungrab, it'll just send the grab tar to grab target, what we're grabbing, back to where it was before. So it's like we never grabbed it at all, and it'll all continue as normal. And then grab weld, or actually grab tar dot parent equals right hand dot grabbed. And then next we do grab weld dot part 0 equals our hand, right hand, grab weld dot part 1 equals our grab target. and then grab weld dot parent equals, let's set it to our grab target. That way later on when we delete the grab target, we don't have to delete two things. And also we'll set the grab weld name to grab weld. Whoops. I don't know, my computer's lagging. Let me open up Task Manager actually. Huh. Makes sense. Okay, so that should be grabbing complete. But now we have to ungrab. So first we're gonna do here in button released, we're gonna do R1 pressed equals false. And then if number of right hand dot grabbed get children is greater than or equal to 2. Actually no, greater than 1. Then what that does is it checks if in this folder there's more than one thing, which if there isn't, that means only old parent is there and there's nothing being grabbed. But if there is, then something's being grabbed. So next we do local grabbed equals right hand dot grabbed find first child of class base part. Since we can only grab base parts, and yeah, we can only grab parts, which are objects. And yeah. If you're grabbing a model, like say, I don't know, I decided, oh, you know what would be cool? What if we added a part to this, and then I grouped it. One thing that you could do is just add or model, then set if grab char parent is equal to a model, then move that entire model. But I'm not going to do that. It's something you can do, but it'll take quite a bit of I know, quite a bit of stuff to get working properly. Okay, so now what we do here is grabbed dot parent equals right hand dot grabbed dot old parent dot value. I should probably make a grabbed variable, but I'm not going to. So yeah. Oh, I spelled parent wrong. Okay, so then I'm gonna do grabbed find first child grab weld Oh, whoops. I forgot. I did this wrong. That should be... This is greater than 1, not 1 is greater than that. Okay. Anyways, find first weld, grab weld, destroy. That just gets rid of the weld, so that there's no clutter. And also it stops being attached to the hand. Oh, and also here, I forgot to do this. If grab tar get attribute grabbable, then so yeah, this is where that thing that I was talking about before comes in. We do this check to see if there is a attribute that isn't nil called grabbable, and that grabbable attribute, if there is one, we can set it without worrying about giving something a grabbable status on accident. Like, imagine if I accidentally set someone's hand to grabbable, if in some way or another that hand got into the grabbed folder. Now people can just grab the hand and mess with other people. So yeah, grab target, set attribute grabbable false. I think that's how set attribute works. And then I'm gonna copy that here, make it true, because we don't want multiple people grabbing the same thing. That's why if you do implement climbing, I don't think you can do climbing without adding extra code with this VR engine. But if you do implement climbing, I would have a separate variable called, or a separate attribute called climbable, so that if it's climbable, it only grabs it if it's climbable or grabbable, but it only sets it to so that nobody else can do it if it's grabbable. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, I forgot. Also, it's not grab tar here, it's grabbed. Okay, so that should be grabbing correct. This code is cursed. I made some changes, but honestly, I realized that most of the changes don't matter because they'd probably be fixed by the next step, which is making the code server-sided. So I'm just gonna undo all this. You get to see, if you slow down the video enough. Okay, there we. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, this is where we were before. I might cut it off where it is here, where the code is here, at an epically cool transition. But I don't know if I feel like doing that. I am gonna write down the time code so I can at least get a rough estimate of where to watch though. Okay, so let's see. Now what we're gonna do is make it work on the server. So for the server, I feel like it's not gonna be that extremely difficult. First, what we're gonna do, let's add an attribute to right hand. Call it grabbing. Boom. Grabbing. So now we also add here, right hand, set attribute, grabbing, true, and then down here, do false. Okay, so now, we're gonna go into the server, add in else if thing equals grabbing, then, I'd say value 1. I'm just gonna add a note here after, of course, the grabbing note for organizing. So we'll make value 1 equal to grab object. Value 2 would be object C-frame. Yeah, C-frame. We can do C-frame. And value 3 would be the velocity, because that's important. So now, what we're gonna do is on grab, we're gonna do grab tar equals grabbed 1 clone. Boom. And we're also gonna set grabbed local grab serve for server equals grabbed 1. So now we're gonna do, after all this, like I'd say about here, we do grab serve dot transparency equals 1, and grab serve dot can collide equals false. And also let's do anchored for good measure. Grab serve dot anchored equals true. Now this might break something if what you're grabbing is not anchored or is anchored beforehand, but you probably shouldn't have something anchored if you're grabbing it. Yeah. Okay. So then here, since this is true, we'll go up here to, we'll go here in the render stepped, because we gotta, whoops. Actually, you know what? We can not do that. Oh, I accidentally deleted the grabbing or grabbing, whatever the folder was called. What was it called? Grabbed. Okay. So we'll just add a grabbing. Right now I'm gonna repeat this. Right now I'm only doing it for the right hand. You're gonna have to do stuff for the left hand. I'm not gonna do it because I don't feel like it. I'm tired. So yeah, this is where the basic knowledge of coding would come in. Hopefully no bugs. I should be able to bug support in my Discord server or in the comments. of the video. Okay, so for grabbing, we do if right hand dot grabbed get children, and we'll do number greater than or equal to 1. I don't know why it would ever be greater than, but I think it's good. I don't know. I guess it just wouldn't update if it wasn't 1 for some reason, and it wasn't 0 either. So yeah, I just think that's a good thing. Okay, so now we do update fire server grabbing. So yeah, I suggest having, when you're doing left and right hand, I suggest having like a value 4. Yeah, we have a value 4. I suggest having value 4 as the hand, but that doesn't matter as much here in the server. Okay, so grabbing value 1 was the C frame. Wait, no, it was the object. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we should. How should we do this? How about this? I can delete this print, by the way. You can also delete that. How about we set the name of grab serve. Actually, no, hold on. We add a variable. We'll go grab our serve. Grab our serve equals grab serve. So now we're sending the server object instead of the local object, because the local object does not exist on the server since it was made on the local only for us. Yeah, I hope you guys have a also basic understanding of client server relationships. If you don't, that's also not that great. You might want to get that checked out at your local hospital. Okay, so grab our serve, and then man, this is gonna be long. Just copy that there, right hand dot grabbed get children box 1. I said that was going to be the C frame, so I'll do dot C frame, and then same thing again. It would be good to make a variable, but I'm lazy and I'm not gonna do that. And tomorrow I'm going to just write over the code so it's more polished for my upcoming game that may or may not come out. Okay, so then we did the do the velocity. So 1.velocity. I don't even know if the velocity is gonna come into play at all. It probably won't, but it might be valuable or variable, because it's a variable. Man, I'm hilarious. Okay, so now that we have everything here, yeah, everything's here. So here we do value 1 dot cframe equals value 2 value 1 dot velocity equals value 3. That seems too simple. I don't know if that'll work. It seems very simple. Oh yes, of course. Here I'm gonna set the grabbing off or grabbing on. Actually, nah. We're good. We don't need to do that. So now what we'll do is go back here. I hope we don't have to touch that again. All right, so we'll go here. Okay, I'm gonna add an if statement here to polish the code, make sure there's no errors in the output. If there shouldn't be, that's just gonna be right here. Boom. Then you don't have to. The errors that appear from this aren't going to be fatal to your code. It's gonna be perfectly fine, but it just doesn't look nice in the console. Especially when people can just press F9 to see the console. Okay, so now that that's there, we will do, alright, so, oh yeah, I also deleted the old parent value, so I should change that here. Old parent doesn't matter anymore, luckily, because of the way we're doing that. My bad. Okay, so, grab our serve. Actually, no. Grabbed. Destroy. Simple as that. Delete all this. It's just like that. Simple. Except now we also have to do, copy all this. Change this to grab our serve. And flip all these values. False, true, 0. Hopefully what you're grabbing is fully visible, not like half transparent or anything. If anything that you're grabbing is not fully visible or 0 transparency, then you might want to have like an old transparency value or something in here. Also, I'm gonna delete this attribute that I added because that's not necessary. Okay, so now next what we're gonna do is we're gonna do update fire server. We're gonna do grab and ending the grab. Oh my gosh. And then the value 1 is going to be grab our server or serve, whatever you called it. And I don't think we need anything else there. Do we? I'll remember if we do. Okay, so back here in VR server, we're gonna add here value 1 set attribute grabbable false. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is insane, guys. Oh yeah, back here you can delete all this except for the grabbing part. The grabbable part doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so now we're gonna do else if, oh, whoops, I forgot to add code. Okay, else if thing equals grab end, then don't need to add a note here because it's still the same. Also if thing equals grab end, then just set this back to true. I think that's it. That should be it. Oh, and also I'm going to add notes here. Like up here, you know, like there is down here. Value 1. You can skip this part if you want. You don't need to be organized like me. It's just easier to read code for outsiders who haven't written the code. Like, say you're working in a team project. Someone needs to edit the code, but they're not like a mastermind coder like you are. And, oh, you're so nice. You wrote notes so that they can understand it without looking stuff up and stuff. Okay, so, I mean, this part's kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, it's just there. But yeah. And then up here, do I have any value extras for character joined? Nope. Oh yeah, I should add. I don't think you really need nils here. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna test this. Hopefully it all works. Hopefully there's no... Actually, I'm just gonna press play right now to see if there's any errors that are out of my control. Or, well, it's technically my script, but like, yeah, you get what I mean. It's taken a while to load. I feel like being recording for an hour and 35 minutes might not be the best for my computer's performance. Alright, doesn't look like there's any errors. I'm gonna hop in VR now. Okay, let's see how this is. So I can grab the thing. I can... Come on. This is the issue that I had before. It doesn't let me go. It always does this. It's not letting go. I'm not gonna pause it though, because I want to see how the hierarchy is affected. And if the server worked. Oh. Well, there's a code error. It doesn't look like the server worked. Attempt to index nil with C-frame. So I guess the value 1 isn't being passed off properly. Alright, let's see what's in here. Hold on. What just happened? Let me see what just happened here. I feel like I just dropped. Nope. Still have it in my hand. I'm gonna hold it up high. I'm gonna take off the headset. Okay. So. Oh. Huh. That's not great, is it? So it looks like this sucks. I don't think it's doing this properly. It always, there's always something wrong with this code. I don't really care what the prints say. As long as I know where they're coming from and I can delete them later, it's fine. Whatever they say. Don't put swears in your prints though. There's a chance that Roblox bans you because, you know, no swearing allowed on kid-friendly only Roblox game. Okay. So I'm holding it. Okay. I'm starting to understand a bit here now. So, here's the issue. You see this? It says unpressed 33 times. But nowhere here does it say grab. That means I found the issue. I fixed the issue. Okay. Now it should work. No errors here. If this doesn't work, well, I don't know what to say, but the attempt to do whatever with nothing was because it's grabbing something that only exists on the client. That didn't work. Let's see the hierarchy. Okay. Right hand grabbed. Okay, so it's not deleting this. Let's see what it does here. That might be updating. Let's check that position. I see, so it's only updating. It updates, but then as soon as I switch to the client, or to the server, it stops updating because it's not running the client code. Okay. So let's try that. I'm gonna do print. I'm gonna print this exact thing. What this value is. This is pretty much how it went. Nope. Okay, but it should have printed the value. So let's check that out. One. Let me look something up. Is a mesh part a base part Roblox? This might be the issue. Nope. Okay, what if we just delete this then? Yeah, let's delete that. Let's find out what that does. Let's see if that fixes the issue. I didn't press play yet. What now? Okay. Okay, do you see why I'm confused here? It says that there's something in the grabbed folder. This is saying that there is one thing in the grabbed folder. Nothing is in the grabbed folder before this code runs. This is saying there is nothing in the folder. So how about we do this? How about we make the grab target dot name is equal to grab object, and we can move that up here. So then now we don't have to do this. We can just do grab object. So now, let's try this. Yes, it worked, finally. As you can see, well, now that's too far down. But as you could see, I could pick up and drop objects. And they're in exactly the same position on the server. And the client, look. See, if I paste that here, a single decimal point changes. That kind of sucks. But that's a single decimal point. It's fine. Okay, cool. I don't like this. I don't understand why Roblox had to be like this. Luckily, the next form of grabbing, which is the last part of the tutorial, finally, is going to be fairly simple to recode using all this. So if you're skipping ahead using timecodes, if I did the timecodes, that would suck if I had to do those timecodes. That's something for me in the future. But if you're using the timecodes, I suggest you watch the last part, because these two techniques are good to use anyways together. Okay, so now here's what you do. So instead of doing this get touching parts, you do a raycast. Now unfortunately for me, I don't have raycasting how it works right in my heart, in my mind off the top of my head. So what I do is do Roblox Raycast. I look that up. Every single time that I need to raycast until I remember it, click on Intro to Raycasting. Scroll down. Just copy that. paste that here. Okay. So now what you're gonna want to do is you're going to, so you see your right hand. A raycast, the reason I like using a grab region instead of a raycast is, unless you do multiple raycasts, a raycast is only gonna go in one direction, and that would be whatever direction you choose, but that's still only one direction. Like, I could choose it to go this way. I know there's a drawing tool in Roblox, I think. I don't know how to activate it though. That would be cool if I could. But the raycast, if you chose to do it in the front, it would go this way. If you chose to do it left, it would go this way, this way, this way. And any object that it hits, it will tell you the position where it hit it, the object that it hit, and something else. But the bad thing is I can only grab stuff that's in this direction unless I do a raycast here, raycast here, raycast here, raycast here. And even then, what if there's something right here that I want to grab? This isn't gonna get it, this isn't gonna get it, and this isn't gonna get it. Unless it's like a big thing. So what, do I just go diagonally too? That's like 6 more raycasts. So overall, I don't like raycasting as an option. It's either messing with Roblox physics system or messing with raycasts. So I picked the first one, even though it's a bad decision. So here, I'm gonna act like I wrote this code. So local ray origin is equal to right hand dot position. That's where it's coming from. And then I'm just gonna move this. Okay, perfect. And I'm also gonna add a decal to see where the front is. Okay. And I'm also gonna do this. I'm gonna add an attachment. Move it this way. That's the Z. I'm just confirming it in every single way. Okay, so ray direction is going to be 0, 0. This next value is going to be a positive number, but the number that you set is going to be how far you're gonna be able to grab. So I'm gonna do like 1, because I don't want to be able to grab something that's like all the way over here, but I also don't want it to be so short that I can't grab something that's like right in front of me. So I think 1's good. This is size 0.5, so it's like, yeah, it's longer than it was before, but it's fine, because, you know, only one direction and stuff. Okay, so filter descendants instances, we're gonna change, or okay, so next, local raycast params equals raycast params.new brackets or parentheses or whatever. This is a blank raycast parameter. So then raycast parameters dot filter descendants instances equals player parts. What that does is it makes it so that the raycast won't hit anything that is inside this. So it won't hit the head, it won't hit the left hand, it won't hit the locomotion sphere, right hand. But since it's descendants, not just children, it also won't hit the controller mesh or anything that we put inside the controller mesh, or even anything that we put inside this health script. Okay, so then filter type blacklist, that just makes it so that it doesn't hit it. If it was whitelist, it would only hit that stuff. Okay, so raycast result equals workspace colon raycast parenthesis ray origin comma ray direction comma raycast parameters. So now we do if raycast result, then local grab tar equals raycast result dot instance, that's just the object that I hit, clone, and grab serve equals raycast result dot instance. So now we don't have to change anything here unless you're using the other technique that for the welding, and the other technique for the welding is using a weld instead of a weld constraint. So what that does is it makes, if I chose to pick up this thing, it would, like, even if I grabbed it from over here, it would instantly snap this to the right hand. And of course you can change that by using the welds .c0 and .c1, and you can have like in a grabbable object, like, I don't know, an attachment called handle, move it to where you want to grab it, and then set that to C1, and then have an attachment in your hand that will be set to C0, but I'm not doing that. Okay, so yeah, everything else here stays exactly the same. Nothing here needs to change. Nothing here needs to change. So now I'm gonna test it, and then I can finally end this video. I can go to sleep because it's like almost it's 10 p.m. I had a surfing camp today. It was kind of tiring, and I had to wake up early, so yeah, I'm kind of tired. In case you haven't noticed, of course. Okay, so don't know where this raycast is coming from. It should work in theory. Okay, I do have raycasting in my planned script. I don't want to show you too much of that because that's leaking the source code, but that would be in VR local. Just gonna scroll down quickly. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so instead change this to right hand dot cframe dot look vector times the distance. I'm gonna do 1. If you wanted it to be behind, you do time or look vector times -1. If you wanted it to be above, it'd be up vector, -1 for down vector. And then there's right vector, -1 for left vector. Okay. It's not actually called left vector or down vector or behind vector. It's just, yeah, it's either look vector, up vector, or right vector. Just if it's negative, then it's the opposite direction. There is no diagonal vector either. So that you would have to do the look vector, like if you wanted it to be up forward, you'd have to do up vector times look vector or whatever. Okay, so as you can see, the raycast just picks it up, puts it immediately where it is in the hand, drop it, boom, boom, pick it up, it's in my hand, throw it. Throwing doesn't really work that well. Can I pick it up from here? Nope, that's too far. But hey, look. Look, that's what happens when you set the friction that we did way earlier. I also, okay, I'm gonna pause this. I know that throughout the video, the right controller wasn't aligned ever. It should be exactly the same as the other controller, but for some reason mine wasn't. If that happened to you, just ask me or copy it from the other thing. So yeah, that was part 2. Finally, part 2 of the VR tutorial. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'm never doing this again. Making a tutorial sucks when, like, if I don't plan it out, then there's obviously gonna be errors and stuff. But if I plan it out, then I'm just copying off of code that I already wrote, which is boring and lame. So yeah, I'm never making a tutorial again unless it's 100% necessary. But yeah, because of this, I am now going to start working on framed VR. Have fun speculating on what that is. Here's the character model. Inverse kinematics too. That was a pain to deal with. Alright, well, I'll see you next time I upload. Bye bye.